All right, good morning. I think that we should start given the time, and we were scheduled to commence at 10:15. So, good morning, guys. Do you agree that we should start this session with the
Yeah, I
students
think
that
we
have
can
logged
start.
on? Okay. Um, all right. So, good morning, students. Welcome to the NRM program, our first virtual orientation. So you guys are very special group of students to be experiencing this online modality. I'm sure that it is not as engaging and fun as being face to face, but I'm sure that given the current pandemic, it is the best way for you guys to keep safe. And so we will ensure that our session is as engaging as possible given our new mode. So welcome to the NRM program. I will start by presenting to you what is NRM all about, the program that you signed up. It's one of the best programs at the University of Belize. So congrats for choosing the best program. I Before I start though, I would love to see at least our students. I think my colleagues would also agree. So what we'll do is that I'll give you a quick overview. Faculty will present themselves, and then perhaps you guys can just turn on your camera, tell us your name very quickly, so that the session is not time consuming. But we would love to greet you. My colleague says students first. Okay, so we'll start with students. I guess. But let me start with giving you an overview of the program first. That's okay if you're in pajamas. What you should be seeing is a brown a PowerPoint on your screen. It's loading, so please let me know if you can view it.
We can't see it yet, Ceci. Do you want me to try and present it? If it's the same one that I have?
Yes, sure. Let me cancel it then. Let me cancel the sharing.
Uh-huh. Hold on, let me just set it up so that we can see it. View, let's see from beginning to this. Okay, then. Uh-oh. Hold on, I'm having a little having a little technical difficulty here. Let me see. All right. I have two screens, so that's my problem. All right, hold on just a minute. Let me show this. Screen one. Okay. All right. Allow that. Screen one. Let's see. Breakout session. BNRM. Oh, come on. Screen one. Allow. Um,
Will it allow you to share though?
You should be seeing it now. Are you seeing anything?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Now let me see if we can view it. So maybe I could switch it to this screen and make it bigger. Oh, sorry. Did I just close you all off? Let me. Can you see it any better now or no? Can you all see it any better? Is that good? Perfect. All right. So I'm just gonna have to scroll through, Ceci, while you go ahead with your presentation. Just tell me next slide and I'll go. Okay, Miss Castillo, are you there? Go ahead. She get vexed. Okay. Okay. Well, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. I think Miss Castillo may have lost a little bit of connection there. I just sent her a message and I don't see her getting it. So I was not prepared to do this presentation, but I'll try to do it. And then I will, if she comes back on, I will hand it over to her to go ahead and do this. So bear with me, and I will ask other faculty members to help me out if they can hear me. So the Natural Resources Management Program, of course, is within the Faculty of Science and Technology. Um, this is one of the founding programs of the University of Belize when it's amalgamated in 2000. Our program has grown and has increased in number of students as well as in our program offerings itself. We have right now two programs, an associate's degree as well as a bachelor's degree within the same program. Um, we will Some of you, I believe, are enrolled in this program as the associate's degree, and some of you in the bachelor's degree. I see Ms. Castillo is back on, so Ms. Cass, I will pass it over to you. I was just covering the first slide, so I'm going to let you go ahead now, and just tell me when you need the next slide, and I will go ahead and scroll it. I don't know if you can. Can you see the slides, Ms. Castillo? I think Ms. Castillo is still having difficulty. Um, oh,
I cannot see your slide yet, Dr. Saki. I'm just getting in, so maybe it will take a bit of time to load on my screen.
I don't know what's happening then. Is it any better if I do it like this? If I do this?
Is everyone else seeing the presentation though? Because I'm still not seeing it. Okay, there we go.
Sorry.
I can see it now.
Is it better if I do this? If are you guys seeing it? Ah,
Yes, I can see it, but we're all the way to
all
the
right. No, I know
end.
I'm going back. I just kind of oh smack. Sorry. Let me go back to the beginning. Oh boy. Um, I guess it's the way the thing is set up. All right. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. Second slide. First slide. Okay. Can you see that now?
Yes,
Okay. All right. Go
yes,
ahead.
we
It's
can.
you now.
Oh, okay. Um, Again, welcome. And so, a little quick overview of the natural resource management. You chose a program that essentially mixes theory with hands-on practicals. And we do terrestrial and marine environments. We focus on both. And we do this so that, as you know, natural resources is very important for our country. A lot of our economy relies on tourism, which relies on our natural resource base. And given the current times, I think that it hones in on the importance of your field of study, which is NRM, with climate change and the ever-changing environment and things that we will be experiencing, including outbreaks of new diseases. Uh, it puts your program out there and you guys at the forefront of addressing what are national priorities and new issues that will be arising. In our program, we offer associates and bachelor degree programs. It's a 2+2 program at the moment. So 2 years associates and 2 years bachelor program. At this point, Dr. Saki, if you can change the slide to the faculty slide. Thanks. And within our program, we have a group of very dynamic individuals that you guys will get to meet today, for those that were able to join us. Okay, and I'll ask that all faculty members present themselves to the students. Maybe we can turn on our cameras and present our names. I will start, and I realize I didn't introduce myself at the start, but um, better late than never, right? So good morning, welcome. My name is Ceci Castillo. I teach courses within the NRM program as well as in the biology program. So if you'll be doing General Biology 1, which you're scheduled to do, I will be teaching mostly the labs this semester for General Biology 1. But I also teach mostly in the bachelor's program, and I do teach the first associate's NRM course that you're going to take for those students doing the associate's program. My major is marine and coastal resource management. And so I'm very interested in any research within that realm. So I will ask my colleagues to now quickly introduce themselves, please.
I guess I'll go first things because hi, good morning, NRMers. My name is Josue Ake. I teach at the bachelor's level, and my research area of research is that of water resource management and within the watersheds. Thank you and welcome.
May, guys, maybe you can turn on your camera when you introduce yourself so that students can know who
Yes,
is talking.
sorry, I just this is me officially. Welcome.
Mr. Magania, is Mr. Magania on? We also have Dr. Elma Kay, if she's on. Dr. Saki?
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Piyosaki. I don't know if you guys can see me. I can't see my. Oh, there I am. Okay, never mind. Good morning. My name is Dr. Piyosaki. Of course, I teach in the Natural Resources Management program. A lot of the teaching that I do is related to the social components or the human dimensions of natural resource management. I have a PhD in anthropology, so you might be asking what the hell is an anthropologist doing in natural resource management. But actually, my focus has been ecological anthropology, which speaks clearly to understanding of what humans do in relation to their natural environment and how do they invoke knowledge and behavior that makes their life sustainable. So I do teach courses in tourism, in protected areas management, and as well some professional skills for environmental managers, and as well topics in natural resource management conservation, which is one of the um, what they call it general core courses that all people take from from other programs within the university. Welcome to the Natural Resources Management program, and I hope that each one of you will have a good experience. This is something new for us, and as Ms. Castillo said, COVID-19 has all thrown us in the deep end of this pool we're in. It's going to be challenging, and I will encourage you all right on the offset that you all please pay attention to your emails, please pay attention to communication with your lecturers, and we're going to have to learn to do this virtually. It's very different when we're in person, and so I'm not used to it myself. I don't like to be impersonal. I like to talk with people personally. So I will have to get used to this as well as you all. So welcome on board, and I hope that you all we can still have the same experience that we normally have with natural resource management. I know a lot of people join this program because we do things like field trips, field work, field activities, which NRM has a lot of. We will find a way to do it, and I hope that you all have a very good experience. Welcome, and I yield back to Ms. Castillo.
Thank you, Dr. Saki. I don't think I see Dr. Leandra Ricketts online, but um, if she is, then she can introduce herself. Um, I don't think I see her. Dr. Chicas?
Okay, okay, right now let me see how this thing works. Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Santos Chicas. I teach in the Natural Resource Management program in both the associates and the bachelor's degrees. My specialization
Dr.
is
Chicas?
in, yes?
Dr. Chicas, can you turn on
Aha,
your video, please?
yes?
Can, can you turn on your video, please, so that the students can see who you are?
No, actually it was on. You can't see me, no?
Yes, I can see you.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
yes, we can.
Okay, okay. Okay then. Okay, good morning everyone again. Well, my name is Santos Chicas. I work on the Natural Resource Management program. I teach both in the associates and the bachelor's degrees. My specialization is in GIS and remote sensing. I'm looking at how we can apply these particular technologies in natural resource management. Like if you are interested in deforestation, erosion, maybe water pollution, air pollution, we can apply these technologies to do these studies. I also teach other courses within the natural resource management program, for example, waste management, terrestrial management issues, and environmental assessment that are in the associate's degree, and in the bachelor's degree, introduction to geographic information systems and um, introduction to environmental economics. I am also the person that is in charge of the CGIS program, which is a cohort of programs specifically in remote sensing and GIS. So if you're interested in joining that program in the future, you are most welcome. So I hope we have a wonderful semester, even if it's in an online modality. So thank you very much. I hope to meet you soon.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Rogers?
Hi, can you guys hear me and see me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear anything.
Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can.
Okay, hi. I don't know if you can see me. My name is Arlene Rogers. I teach environmental law. I teach this semester. I'm going to be teaching a new course in the marine biology program. I will be teaching marine conservation. I also teach independent thesis proposal sometimes. But I also do marine research. I do research at the UBERI, and I have been thesis advisor for students in the past. So if you're interested in doing anything related, any thesis related to marine research, I can probably be your advisor in the future. I guess there's time to talk a little bit about ERI, what ERI does, but I can do that in the end. So I want to welcome you. I don't know if I'll be teaching you this semester. If you will be doing environmental law and policy, then you will probably see me. If not, then next academic year. Welcome again.
Okay, thank you. And we also have Miss Ivana Cho, who teaches within our program, but I don't think I see her present here today. Okay, I saw the chair logged on. Perhaps is he still around? Dr. Aguilar, are you still online? Okay, I guess not. But you guys should have met him prior to our session. Dr. Saki, if you can change the slide for me, please. Right. Okay, so a quick program overview. The Natural Resource Management Program falls under the Faculty of Science and Technology, and this morning you should have met our Dean, Dr. Charlene Enriquez Savory, and we also fall within the Science Department, in particular under the Faculty of Science and Technology, and our department chair is Dr. Apollonio Aguilar, who you guys also met earlier this morning. Our department secretary is Miss Lani Badillo. I believe a picture was shown this morning as to who she is. And she should be someone that you guys can familiarize yourself with as you progress through your studies here at UP. And her email address, as mentioned earlier in the faculty orientation, is her first name, L. Badillo. So the L from her first name and her surname, Badillo, at up.edu.bz. You were also introduced to the Dean's Secretary, who is Miss Judy Ellis. And again, we use the first alphabet from the first name and the surname in most instances at ub.edu.bz should you need to reach us. The chair this morning also mentioned that you should be meeting your advisors. So you have now met us. You have received an email by now as to who is your advisor, and your advisor perhaps have reached out to you already. And what we will be doing in the next 2 days is that you will be meeting with your advisor on a one-to-one basis. You guys will need to accept the time scheduled for your appointment so that your advisor can guide you as to what courses you should sign up for this semester, since you guys are new students. And only after only after, sorry, excuse me. And only after you guys meet with your advisor will you be able to add your courses. So there's a block currently in place for all new students. And so you do need to meet with your advisor so that they can lift this block and that you will be able to sign up for the courses that you need to sign up for. After meeting with your advisor, you will also be asked to sign a document that states that you have met with your advisor. Okay, so please do sign that for your advisor after meeting with them. During this time period that you will be meeting with your advisor, if you are a student coming from a feeder institution, another junior college, then we will also be doing course transfers for you. Okay. Is everyone can hear me, right? I'm checking in that everyone is hearing me clearly. Okay, thank you. If you need to see if you need to see your advisor, if you need to see your lecturer, if you need to see the dean or the chair or the secretaries at any given point during this semester, you can feel free to make virtual meeting appointments. Okay, so you'll send us a request through Google Meet and set an appointment. The person will accept that request, and then we'll have those virtual meetings. So please feel free to think about it as just walking up to the office and seeing the lecturer or the dean or the chair, except it's virtual. Okay, so let us try to make best of this new situation that we have, and we will try our best to also give you that one-on-one, even if it's virtual. Throughout your studies at UP, should you have any concerns whatsoever, there are certain steps that you should follow. The first thing that you should do if you're having an issue is and it's pertaining to a course, if you have any concerns, any queries, then the first person you should speak with is your lecturer. Okay. If your lecturer cannot address it and you still feel the need to discuss it further and you're not getting headway with the lecturer, then your next step should be the chair of the department. In this case, it is Dr. Aguilar. Okay. Should you feel the need to continue, if you're not satisfied with the response at that level, then you should proceed to the dean, okay, which is Dr. Savory in this instance. And again, after the dean, if you're not being assisted, then there's the Dean of Student Affairs, which is Dr. Cuellar. You guys should have met him by now. And then there's an email that was provided to you earlier in today's session, concerns at ub.edu.bz, which you can also send in your concern to. And that would then go to the other offices. I mean, after the Dean of Student Affairs, then we have the Vice President and the President. But I'm sure it shouldn't reach to that point. And the concerns at ub.edu.bz is handled at those upper tiers. Okay, so your first stop should be though at your lecturer and then your chair. If you have any questions throughout this session, please you can unmute your mic and ask your question. Okay, so that we can answer it as best as we can. It is very important for you guys to review your acceptance letter that you received. At the end, I believe there is a conditional acceptance. If you were accepted to the program based on conditional basis, then it is very important for you guys to ensure that you fulfill those conditions. Okay, because it means that you were accepted on the condition that you complete certain courses. It can be developmental biology, it can be any developmental course. Okay, and that is done through the office of the ODL, online distance learning office. Okay, and so it's important that you guys sign up for those developmental courses before you sign on to your natural resource management program, if those courses are prerequisites to certain courses. For example, you cannot do general biology 1 without having the developmental biology. Okay, so it's very important for you to look at whether or not you were accepted to the NRM program on a conditional acceptance basis. Next slide, please. Once you received your acceptance letter, you should have also been emailed your program sequence. So you receive a program sequence for the NRM program at the associates level if you apply to the associates program, and you received one for the bachelor's degree level if you apply to our bachelor's NRM program. This program sequence is very important. You need to keep it with you. You save it because that is a contract that you have with the university. This is where the university is telling you that we're committed to ensuring that within your 2 years of studies at the associate's or the bachelor's level, that we will be offering these courses for you to complete your program. And this will be valid, okay, up to 2 years, and it's valid unless you leave the university for 2 semesters. So if you're out for 2 semesters and you need to reapply into the program, and if the program have revised its program sequence, then it will be changed, and then you need to do the new courses that were added. Okay, so as long as you're within the university, okay, the university will be committed to offering these courses, and you don't need to do any new courses within the 2 years of your studies, even if there's a revision of program sequence. However, if you leave the university for 2 semesters and you need to reapply, then the new changes will apply to you. In your program sequence, we have a list of courses, okay? And beside each course, it indicates whether it is a PC, which stands for Professional Core, GC, which stands for General Core courses, and SC, or Support Core courses. What do these mean? Your professional courses are those courses that are part of your program, part of the NRM program in this case, okay? And you must fulfill those, you must pass those. Your general core courses are courses that all students at the University of Belize are required to take. Those would be your English courses, your math, Spanish, okay? So those are general core courses. And then you have support core courses, which are courses that you should take to help you or strengthen your skills and knowledge in some of our your professional core courses. Okay. If for some reason, when you're adding courses, you cannot get into a professional core course, okay, and you are following your program sequence, you're in sequence meaning you have not missed courses for a semester that you should have been taking it, okay, if you're following your program sequence and you cannot get into your professional core course, then you can ensure to visit the chair of the department, Dr. Aguilar, so that you can be added to your professional core course. We are committed to ensuring that all students that require a professional core course for a given semester, that they can enroll in that course. And that is only if you're following your program sequence. If you are out of sequence for some reason, then that may create some problems. Okay, so ensure to follow your program sequence as best as possible. And of course, this is where your advisor comes in and they can help you, guide you as to what courses you should be taking in any given semester. You are, as a student, you also have a responsibility, okay? You have a responsibility to ensure that you have signed up for the courses you were advised to do. You're responsible to follow up with your advisor that the necessary transfers have been done. You're responsible to, if you visited the chair's office and requested to be added into a course, you need to ensure that it is done. So you need to be following up and give it about 2 to 3 days to see whether or not you have been added to that particular course. And if not, then do a follow-up email, okay? Because there are instances when the inbox of the chairs and advisors, etc., it's filled and we may miss 1 or 2 students. So there's nothing wrong for you to do a follow-up, okay? So please ensure that you take on that responsibility. At the university, for student, you need to have 2.5, okay? You need to have 2.5 on your professional courses and your general core courses. And if you, and overall a cumulative GPA of 2.5. If you go below 2.5, okay, it means that you're going on probation. And if you have 2 consecutive semesters of probation, then your advisor may need to contact you and ask you to sit out 1 semester. Okay, so there is that penalty per se for not performing well within the university. And here I can ask my colleagues to chime in. Did I miss anything about probation here? Okay. I guess I covered it. program change. Okay, if you're almost completing your associates NRM program in your last semester, if you only have 3 courses remaining in your following semester, then you can apply for a program change. So let's say this was your 4th semester, your 3rd semester within your NRM program, and to finish it, you only have 3 more courses remaining, which you take in your 4th semester. From the 3rd semester, you can apply for a program change, okay, to your bachelor's program so that you can take your 3 courses that remains for your associates along with other courses within your bachelor's NRM program, should you make that change. So a program change in terms of associates to bachelors can be done when you have 3 courses remaining in your previous program. Again, if you want to completely change from NRM and go to another program, you will need to fill in the necessary forms for that, and the university requests that that is done 1 semester in advance to your scheduled start for the new program. I see the lab technician online, and they're visiting all the different programs so they can introduce themselves. As you know, the associates students NRM, you guys will need to do biology, general biology 1 and 2, and the necessary labs. So I will ask Mr. Caballero to go ahead and introduce himself and the team, and then we can continue to looking at the program sequence with Dr. Saki.
Good morning,
Mr.
everyone.
Caballero?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, students. My name is Rolando Caballero, and I'm the Senior Lab Technician for the Science Department. Let me introduce my team here with me. So they can please introduce themselves.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Zeta Franco Leon, and I'm one of the lab technicians assigned to the Science Department.
Good morning, guys. My name is Gina Zuniga, and I'm also one of the lab technicians of the Science Department.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. I just quickly want to go a quick overview of what is it that we do and what we expect of you guys. So the main roles of the lab technicians is to manage the labs and oversee its function and the maintenance, all right? So we are tasked to deliver many lab sessions, okay, in fields such as chemistry, botany, molecular biology, marine biology, etc. And our role also includes maintaining a safe working environments for all students and lecturers, okay? So quickly, just to speak on labs in times of COVID-19 and the new norms we are expected to be following in the lab. So the lab rules will be covered in the first lab session, and we are asking that all students that are registered show up for that first session so that we can discuss lab safety, which is very important, okay? We will be having reduced number of students per lab session, all right? So there will only be a maximum of 12 students within the lab at any one time, not including the lecturer. And we will also be having the mandatory use of PPEs, or personal protective equipment, including your personal face mask, all right, that covers your mouth and nose. And as well, if you want, we are suggesting that you get a coat and a goggle for these troubling times, okay? The lab coat, you can have it, there's seamstress sew it for you, and your goggles, you can purchase it at your local hardware store. But you must have on all your personal protective equipment before entering the lab, okay? We will be maintaining social distancing as best as possible, all right? So we have minor interaction between one another, and we will also be having wash stations for washing our hands before entering and when leaving the lab, okay? So that's just what I quickly wanted to discuss with you guys. If there are any questions from any students, can you guys put it in the chat if you don't have a mic, or you can turn on your microphone and if there are any questions for us. Okay, I guess no questions at this point. If not, let me hand back to Miss. Oh, how often will we be doing labs? Well, as is right now, we were splitting each session into two. So you will go in 1 week, and then the other half will go in the following week. And that is to accommodate um, the 12 students in a lab at any one time, all right? So we can reduce the numbers. So when you meet with your lab lecturer, he will explain that or break you up into which session you will be attending, whether it's week 1 or week 2. So all in all, each student should be attending, I think, 6 lab sessions, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he will also be doing 2 online labs. Any more questions? Okay, if not, I'll hand
Yes.
over back to Ms. Ceci.
Thank you, Mr. Caballero. For the NRM students, I think you guys are only doing Gen Bio 1 lab this semester, so it means you'd be meeting once a week. And you do need to do the 6 labs that Mr. Caballero did mention. Of course, should there be more outbreaks and national emergency declared, then we will be covering labs in an alternate way, right, Mr. Caballero?
Yes, that's correct, Ms. Ceci. For chemistry as well, guys, I think NRM students do have to take Chem 1 as well, General
Yes,
Chemistry
I think
1.
so.
Yeah, so the same applies to
Yes.
that. Mhm. All right,
Okay,
guys.
thank you.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, so we can move on. Yes, thanks, Dr. Saki, with the review of the associates program sequence. And there we'll see in terms of how many labs you guys need to do, what you're doing this semester. Dr. Saki.
Okay, give me that. Okay, I'm coming on. I'm coming on. Just let me see. I'm gonna try just put this overlaid on top of the. Tell me if you see this. If you all see this. You all see that?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So again, good morning, everyone. Particular for those people who are in the associate's degree program. This document here, again, as already previously stated by Ms. Ceci Castillo, is important for you in terms of your commitment to the university and the university's commitment to you. This is essentially your contract for the next 2 years while you go through the program. Just the form itself, it's laid out so that it guides you, particularly in terms of what you will be needing for your own guidance and for your own progress and monitoring your progress at the university. So let me just start here on the I guess it's in your screen. It will be the what is that corner, that left hand corner? I guess let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Oh, there you go. Is that better? So here is where you put your name and you put your ID number. Your advisor, each of your advisor will add their names here, and that is very critical. The reason why this is critical is most of you are going to be, you have to meet with your advisor, and this form must be shared with you so you understand. So every time you come to meet with your advisor, always bring this form with you, because then you can do a closer monitoring or survey of your progress within the semesters or whichever semester you're in at the time that you meet. Okay, so this is very critical. This has last been updated in 2012. There's not been another update since then. And if there are any changes that happen, we will then go ahead and inform those people. But it will not affect any of you all who already signed as of 2020 semester 1. So this is now, once you have agreed on to this, you have registered for the courses, this is where you start, and this is where you move on from here. Okay, so this is we have to this is a natural resources management degree. It is an associate's degree in science. So, and it is indeed something that has a very heavy science or natural science background. So we expect most of you to be able to understand ecology, basic ecology, the functions of various different biochemical activity in nature, etc., etc. Now, the courses are set out so that you should be very much able to go in straight from high school into some of these if you have had any kind of science or integrated science or biology type background in high school. Now we know that not all high school offer this courses, so we um, make sure that this is so. So if you in your application form or your application letter that was or sent to you, you should say if you're unconditionally accepted, which means that you would have met all the biology and chemistry requirement, and therefore you can move on to the next course, which then would be these ones here. If it says that it's conditional, it should indicate to you which one of your courses that you would need to, which one of the courses you will need to be able to or which one you'll need to take before you can move in to any one of these courses. So your first semester, obviously, so again, let me just go through this form. This is also important for most of you. Each course has a course code. Okay, and the course code is that number you see there, and that's what you're going to see in Zenigrade or any of your other communications related to the course. This also, you will see an additional number after this. For example, biology 1015, you're going to see another number after that. That can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it may go to, and that usually just indicates the section that you're enrolled in. And that is important because the section then tells you the time, and well, in this case, you won't have a room, but in this case, but at least it will tell you the time at which that course will be offered. And again, there are lots of new words that y'all are going to use: synchronous, asynchronous, all that stuff in terms of delivering online courses. Synchronous means that you have to meet at that time when it is specified inside the Zenigrade and is dictated or shown by the section of the courses that you are working with, right? So in this case, you have biology 10, 20, 10, 15, that number you need. We don't have a column here for section because that changes every semester, but that's the name of the course, and it has 3 credits, right? And of course, this is what you call a support core. In other words, you need to have this course in order for you to be able to move forward. It's a requisite for you to do other courses ahead of that, right? And you also have what we call a prerequisite. As you see here, it says it's for high school biology. It means that you have to have some biology background, and your transcript must show that of in some way. Have a CXC or whatever, that's even better. That would be proof that you're ready to take the general biology one. And of course, you'll have to take that alongside a biology lab, which is a core requisite. Core requisite means that you have to take it alongside it, so it helps. So, and that makes sense. So you have a general biology theory, and then you have a lab that goes along. This is same is true for general chemistry and the general chemistry lab. So this is a support core, which means that if you're in the NRM program, you must have these courses. And if you see here, there is general one, general biology one, general chemistry one, with the labs associated with it. And if you go to the next semester, you will see that those are the only things that we have outlined here for you to take. Okay. Now, here is a course, and this should not be a GC, because GC suggests general core. This should actually be for natural resource management program for the students in the NRM program, associates and bachelors. In case of you, some of you joining bachelors and don't have this course, this is a professional core requirement. So you need to take this course, and it's called the code is 1151, and it's fundamentals for inventor managers. There's another course that is offered that is a general core, which is the NRMP 1014. And this one, that course is a general core, and that is for people who are non-NRM majors. So don't sign up for the course, and that one is entitled Environmental Conservation and Development. And that course is specifically for people outside of that. You will notice that this course actually has this prerequisite as well for high school biology and chemistry. So if you have not that, then you need to do your your preparatory courses, preparatory chemistry, preparatory biology, to be able to do that. Okay. So here we have, just on semester one, you see these asterisks. These are what we call general core. These are courses that are developed, or this is a sequence of courses that are included in every single program sequence across the university. These courses are designed to create character, identity, and what they call well-roundedness for students who are in our program. So this is what makes us special at the University of Belize in terms of the courses we take. So I'll show you that in just a minute, and let me go beyond to semester two. Again, if you passed all the courses, make sure you put, there's a column here for grade. Every course you take, you put your grade here at the end of the semester, right? So as you finish these courses, you're going to get your grade. You put it here, you put it here, and you will also be able to add at the bottom here total credits. You should put down here your GPA for that semester. Again, as Ms. Castillo indicated before, if your GPA falls below 2.0, more than 3 semesters or 2 semesters, sorry. Yes, more than 2 semesters, you're asked to withdraw from the university for a year and then come back and restart over again. Okay, so you put your grades in here. This is important because then if you have a failing grade here in biology on this column, then it's very likely that you're not going to be able to take biology 2. You'll have to repeat this course and move on. Now, my advice to you all is, if you took general biology and you passed the lab but you failed the course, don't go take general biology lab 2, because biology lab 2 is contingent upon you passing general biology 2. So, or sorry, it has to be contingent on you passing the general biology 1, because you will need the general biology 2 is associated with general lab 2. So you make sure that you have to pass the theory, not just the lab, to be able to move on. The same is true for chemistry. All right, so then you start then going into your second year, of course, your second semester with the second the chemistry 2, etc. for that. Now we go into semester 3, which is essentially your first semester, second year. Again, if you look in this column that it says, prerequisites, you will see these numbers. These here come from here, right? So if these are not favorable, or you did not pass these courses, you will have a challenge taking this course. So for the NRM, for the marine biology, marine ecology, introduction to marine ecology, which I believe is taught by Mr. Magania, you will need to have passed the NRM, the fundamentals for management. The same is true for introduction to recreation, which I do teach. Introduction to geology, which is taught by Mr. Magania again as well. Waste management, taught by Dr. Chicas, and as well as introduction to no. That you don't go about the psychology. So for the NRM courses, these are the prerequisite. You will notice for general core, we don't give you necessarily a prerequisite. And the reason for that is because these are courses you can take at any time of the semester. That's why we have these asterisks here. That's a place where you can put those courses. After you have finished these, then you're ready for semester 2. If you again look at the numbers here, right, you will see them here in this column for prerequisites for semester 2 or semester 4, which is the second semester of year 2. You're going to see this. And then here are a couple things here that are called co-requisites. In other words, you have to take this course in tandem, which means that you will take them together with this course here, right? So if you sign up for protected areas management, you should sign up for terrestrial issues. If you sign up for terrestrial issues, you need to sign up for, again, protected areas management. So you see that these courses go hand in hand. And you're very lucky to have myself and Dr. Chicas to teach this course. Because we combine all these courses, the hospitality and tourism, the protected areas management, and he also teaches the environmental assessment course, which we try to do well. Hopefully, by that time, we will have had the medicine for COVID-19, or somehow all of us would have become immune to it, and that we are allowed to travel. And that's not a scientific statement I'm making. I'm just saying, hoping. But what we normally do for this semester, especially, we do have a field trip that requires us to go and apply a lot of what we have learned in all these 4 courses. So it usually is a 3-day field trip, 2 nights 3 days, and it starts very early and ends very late. We don't have very much time for fun in terms of partying and social meeting and all that stuff on trips. We are usually down, dirty, and tired and hungry and bitten by insects and smelly and all that good stuff. Real NRM stuff. Then real NRM. Now in semester one, we ask you to do the psychology course here, right? And then in the second one, in semester four, we ask you to do the introduction to sociology. Okay, these are all courses that are required for you to have. Okay, now if I'm not monitoring the chat. So if there's any question, I would hope Miss Castillo or somebody alerts me. Here are the general core courses. Okay, and again, I want you all to look at these very carefully. You have as well in the general core courses, you have requirements. If you go to the prerequisites, you can't go to English 2 without passing English 1. And I think for those people who are going into bachelor's, if you intend to move on to your bachelor's degree, you will not be able to do a composing process, and I think technical writing, if you don't have these two courses. So it's important for you to make sure that you have these. Belizean history does not have a prerequisite. Introduction to computers does not. Ethics, economics, applied management. If you notice here, there's two courses here that requires some attention as well. Intermediate algebra, generally we look at this particular course based on your ATLIB score. If you have taken ATLIB, there's a certain cutoff point. If you don't make that number of points, then you are basically asked to do remedial math before you take intermediate algebra. For Spanish, some of you are coming to the program hablando español muy bien, and some of you will be very challenged with that, like I am, and you will have to test out. So you will have to be in communication with the language department to be able to take a placement test that is usually announced, if it's not announced prior already for the semester. But there are chances that you can then go into this placement test, and based on the level that you came in, you can then be either placed into this particular level, lower intermediate Spanish, or you can be exempted altogether if you have a high score. But if you do not make the score, then you will have to start. They will tell you which Spanish to take first, and sometimes some of you may have to take 2 or 3 Spanish before you are able to fulfill the lower intermediate Spanish requirement. Now, I encourage all of you as much as possible in the first semester to investigate this in particular, because you don't want to get to the end of your associate degree program and then you find out that you have to do 2 more Spanish and you have to delay graduation for 2 semesters or something like that. Okay. Again, fundamentals for environmental manager is not a general core. This is a professional requirement, particularly for the NRM students for you all in the associate's degree and bachelor's degree program. And I think we need to correct that on this chart. So and make sure that you have to do this as your first course before you could move on to any other courses. And then of course the sociology and all that stuff. You should have 36 credit altogether, and this is something that you need to pay attention to. Okay, so here is the distribution, and this is how you see on this box that I'm floating my mouse over. Shows you the professional core of 24 credits, support core 16, general core 36, and you should be able to finish with 76 total credit hours. Okay, so for those of you who are really, really smart, which all of you are, so I should not even say for those of you, for all of you who are really, really smart, if you finish this English 1, 2, 3 without any difficulty, please try to fit into your and as also the same is true for math. Try to fit this in your associate's degree program, because this helps you to be ahead when you go to your bachelor's degree program. Okay, having said that, you have to pay attention at the bottom. It says graduation requirement. You must successfully complete all courses in your program sequence with a minimum of 2.0 GPA. The and here is very important. And a professional core GPA of 2.5. In other words, you should not get anything less than a C in your professional course, in all the NRM courses. Now, from experience, I will tell you all students, your goal is not 2.5, your goal is A. So if you slip leave it, you could get a A minus. Now, if your goal is 2.5 and you slip leave it, you slip a lot and you'll have to stay for another year or so because you got a D plus or a C in your NRM courses. And believe me, this happens all the time. That said, I want to thank you all, and I will yield back now to Miss Castillo.
Thank you, Dr. Saki. Students, do you have any questions as it relates to the program sequence that was just presented to you? Okay, I believe they don't have questions or they're hungry already, right? We're close to that time. I'll ask then if there's no question. If you have question, you can put it in the chat box and I can read it out and we can answer it. But if you don't have any questions, then Dr. Chicas or Mr. Ake, can one of you do the bachelor's program sequence overview, please?
Okay, let me see if I can.
Perhaps on the screen since he's sharing his screen with us. Yes, we're going to review the bachelor's sequence now.
So,
for the student.
Dr. Saki, can you please share the program sequence? Or I can try to share it, but I don't know. Maybe it will be easier if you share it.
I can share it, no problem. Just give me a sec.
Okay.
So, Ms. Shanice, the student, we are about to present the bachelor's NRM program sequence, okay?
Okay, good morning, guys. So I will be presenting to you the Bachelor's Degree Natural Resource Management Program sequence. And as Dr. Saki said, the first thing that you should do is you need to fill in your name, your student ID, and your advisor. It is very important for you guys to find who your advisor is, because a lot of times you'll have students that will be lost at the university trying to go with the next person to be advised because they don't know who their advisor is. Finding another person that is not your advisor is not recommended, because if you're going to be in the program for 2 years, you would want someone to be consistent and to follow up, okay, which courses you have taken, which courses you need to take. But if you are randomly going to people to sign you into courses or to give recommendations to you, then you will end up with maybe courses that you will need to retake, and you might stay in the university for another year. So meeting with the advisor is always good, as they know very well the program and what you can do to actually complete all the requirements and graduate from the program, right? So the first thing that I want to talk to you about regarding the bachelor's program sequence is this prerequisite checklist. So if you graduated from an associate's degree at the University of Belize, actually all the courses that you would see in this particular list would automatically transfer. So you can start directly into your bachelor's program, taking courses from your bachelor's program. However, for those of you that come from what we call feeder institutions, which are 6 farms, then you will have to go to your advisor and see which courses from your feeder institution can transfer to the University of Belize. And for that, your advisor would have like a matrix, an Excel file, basically with your institution and which courses can transfer to UB. So it is very important for you guys to fill in this prerequisite checklist together with your advisor. So for example, you would go to your first course here that you need, right, which is English 101, 14 English, College English 1. So you would see if that is transferable from your feeder institution, then you will write the grade and TR, meaning transfer, right? So you have to go through all this prerequisite checklist to check all the courses and if those courses are transferred. I have had instances whereby you would have students which come from the same feeder institution, which their courses have been transferred, and you come from the same feeder institution and your course was not transferred, right? So I would recommend for you to, if you have persons that come from the same feeder institution with different advisors, it's always good to cross-check if the same courses were transferred. Because as advisors, sometimes we make some mistakes. So it's always for you to be proactive and do your own research, right? Don't only make your decisions based on what the advisor is saying. It's always good to cross-check on that. Dr. Saki, can you go a little bit up or down, I mean? Okay, so what I want to talk to you is this section where it says a support course, 16 credits, where you have general biology lab, general chemistry 1, and general chemistry 2. So the majority of the time, from the experience that I have advising, is that there are a lot of you who did not take especially chemistry in your feeder institution. So most of the time, if you didn't take chemistry or the chemistry doesn't transfer from your feeder institution, you will be doing chemistry at UB, right? So, so for this semester, if you're in the Bachelor's Natural Resource Management program, if you didn't do any biology, if you didn't do any chemistry, you'll have to take General Biology 1, General Biology Lab 1, and General Chemistry 1, and General Chemistry Lab 1, right? So make sure that you register as quick as possible to these courses, because these courses get full quickly, because a lot of students take these courses. So if you cannot take these courses this semester, then next semester you will not be able to take General Biology 2 and General Chemistry 2, right? And then there is where you will start to have a bit of problems. So if you didn't do biology or chemistry at all, make sure that you have this in mind, right? And the professional core courses, well, if you apply for Bachelor's Natural Resource Management, more than likely you did natural resources at your sixth farm, right? So for the majority of these professional core courses, personally, the courses I teach, I know that environmental assessment, terrestrial management issues is transferable for the majority of the sixth farms. And waste management as well. However, I think there are some courses where I think only one feeder or sixth farm is able to transfer these courses, and that is Introduction to Marine Ecology. So you have to make sure that all these courses here, you have taken those courses, or those courses were transferred to the university, because in some instances you have a course which has the same name, like for example, Introduction to Marine Ecology. However, because of the content that is covered in your course in the sixth farm is not the same as the content that or topics that are covered at UB, then that course is not transferable. So you have to take that course at UB. Why this is important? This is important because if you do not have the professional core courses, you cannot take courses in your bachelor's program. Why? Because most of the courses in the bachelor's program have what are known as prerequisites. And I think that Saki spoke a bit about that, right? So make sure that you go over this prerequisite checklist with your advisor before signing in to any course in your bachelor's program, right? Because prerequisites are there for a reason. The reason why you need prerequisites is because these prerequisites provide you a foundation for the higher level course that you're going to take. Even if you can register for a higher level course, then if you don't have the prerequisites, you might end up getting a very low grade when you could have done better in that particular higher level course if you had the prerequisite, right? So make sure that you go over this prerequisite checklist with your advisor, and make sure that your advisor submits your transfer form. And as Ms. Castillo mentioned, make sure that you go and check if your courses were transferred, because if they were not transferred, then you'll have a lot of problems when you want to register online, because sometimes if you do not have the prerequisites or these were not transferred, then if you want to sign into a course, you are not able to. And this takes some process to be done in record. So make sure that you do this as early as possible, right? Dr. Saki, can we move to the next page, I think? Okay, so for one note here is that if you didn't do Spanish, any Spanish, you would have to do Spanish 1 and 2 at UB, right? So make sure that you check on these Spanish courses that you need to take. So if you have all the prerequisites for and checklists that you need to take courses in the bachelor's program, then you can look at semester 1, right? So here you have what is known as the course code, the course name, the credits of the course, the status, grade, prerequisites, prerequisites, right? So what is important for you guys to note is, okay, so for the first semester that you would register at UB, these are the courses that you should take in your bachelor's program, right? So you have professional skills for environmental managers. So if we look at professional skills for environmental managers, your prerequisites to take that course are NRM 1151, which is a natural resource for environmental managers, and English 1035, right? So if you look at, for example, GIS, so introduction to GIS, what do you need to take that course? This is a 4-credit course. You need introduction to computers and environmental assessment. So if we go a bit up to the prerequisite sheet, Dr. Saki. To the prerequisite check sheet at the beginning of the yeah. So if you take a look at here, you see that environmental assessment NRMP 2502. So that is a prerequisite for you to take. If you want to register introduction to GIS, you have to have that course transferred, right, to the university. So can we go down? Okay, so that is, so make sure that you check your prerequisites, and if you are able to take the courses, you can register for these courses. So professional skills, introduction to GIS, environmental land policy, biostatistics 1, technical writing and research methods. So biostatistics, technical writing and research methods, those are support core courses, right? Then in semester 2, you have another batch of courses that you will need to take. So you have biostatistics 2. So more than likely, you have had to take and pass biostatistics 1 in order for you to take biostatistics 2. So if you look at the prerequisites here, your prerequisite here is Math 2011. So Math 2011 is Biostatistics 1, right? So what does that mean? Is that if you fail Biostatistics 1 or you didn't take Biostatistics 2, Biostatistics 1, then you will not be able to take Biostatistics 1. And that is where you might have issues in that if you're not able to take courses in the second semester, so automatically you're going to stay at UB for another semester. Why? Because these professional core courses, they're only offered every other semester, right? So for example, professional skills for environmental managers, that will not be offered in semester 2 until the following semester, right? So make sure that you keep track of which courses need which prerequisite and dedicate a lot of time to those courses, right? Because you don't want to be at UB for 3-4 years to get your bachelor's degree, right? So, and the same thing applied for the other courses, project management, what are the courses that you need? So for project management, you would need professional skills to be able to take the project management course, right? And then you have industrial environmental chemistry, environmental seminar, watershed ecology and management, independent thesis proposal writing, right? So the only thing that I want to highlight here is the independent thesis proposal writing. So if you already have in mind or an idea, a vague idea of what topic you want to do, or who you would want to be your advisor, which you should start thinking in semester 1, so that for this particular class, you can have your project proposal developed. So then for the summer semester, you can collect the data that you need in order for you to start doing analysis and writing in semester 3, right? So in the Bachelor's Natural Resource Management program, you can either do a thesis or what is known as an internship. I would highly recommend you to do a thesis instead of an internship, because if you're planning to do a master's later on, the first thing that they ask in the application of master's is what was your bachelor's thesis research, right? And if you didn't do anything, then you're already at a disadvantage from those students that did a thesis. That can we go a little bit down to the, to the summer semester. So in the Natural Resource Management program, bachelor's, you don't really have a break. You either, for summer, you're either working on your thesis, collecting your information, or being in an internship and what is known as field methods and assessment, right? So for field methods and assessment, it's, I think, you do a 3-week assessment on the terrestrial environment and a 3-week assessment on the marine environments. That's basically applying all the methods that you have learned from your associate program, right? And semester 1 and 2 of your bachelor's program. So application of these field methods, right? And then after if you opt for a internship, then after your field methods, you go directly into your internship, which is approximately 7 weeks that you will be working with an organization. If you opt for a thesis, you would not be doing internship, right? So, and again, if you take a look at the prerequisites are important for these 2 courses, because if you are not able to take field methods and assessment, then basically you'll have to stay at UB for another year, right? Because you will not be able to take a lot of what are known as the modular courses, which I'll be talking about shortly. So in semester 3, you have environmental economics, environmental microbiology, environmental impact assessment, and introduction to geology. A recommendation that I would give you is that, especially for environmental economics, I have had students that would register for this course even if they are just coming into the bachelor's program. And the reason why they do that is because they see that the only prerequisites for environmental economics is Introduction to Economics, which most of you have taken. However, if you look at the code of the course, this is a 400 level course. So that means that the complexity of this course is higher, right? So if you're just starting your bachelor's program and then you sign for this course, most of the students that have signed for this course, they don't perform well, right? And as a lecturer teaching the class, I have told the students, it's better if you follow your program sequence, but some of them says, no, sir, I think we can manage. So I have no objection. If you want to take the course, you can go ahead. However, I'm just telling you that based on previous students that have taken the course, the performance is not as good as the students that are actually in semester 3 of their bachelor's program, right? So then you have the other courses like environmental microbiology. The same situation applies for that because you have some students that take environmental microbiology and they're just in their first semester. So those are just things that you need to take into consideration. Introduction to meteorology, which the prerequisites you would have already taken if you did your first semester, first semester of the course, right? So on the last semester, that's what is known as the modular semester, which you would be taking 4 courses, and these are in a modular form. So each course will be approximately 3 to 4 weeks. So you will only be taking 1 course during that 3 weeks. They are very intensive courses. So for this particular semester, you also need to look at, like, for example, extra finances, right? Because most of these courses required a lot of field activities. So you have to have the monies to pay for accommodation, food, and transportation, right? To the areas where you're going to be collecting or implementing any methodology, right? So for this course, if you failed the field methods course, then you will not be able to take any of these courses or other courses. So if you take a look at the prerequisites, I think GIS is one of the courses that you need to pass in order to be able to take these courses, right? So I would recommend to you to, because we would have you'll have individual meetings with your advisor. So as for me, I have already sent emails and invitations to Google Meet to my advisees. So make sure that you are on the lookout for that, because your advisor will then go through this sequence in more detail, look at, if you're doing bachelor's, which courses will be transferred and which courses you would sign for, right? I have just received an email that the students will not be blocked from the system. What does that mean is that you can register without meeting your advisor, right? However, that is not a good idea because if you are just guessing what course to take and you don't have a clear idea of how you go about doing that and why taking this course prior to another course is important, then you will be in trouble afterwards, right? So make sure that you meet with your advisors. And I think, as I told you, you need to be proactive. If you already know who your advisor is and you have their contact information, I recommend you to send an email specifying like when it would be good for you to meet with them, right? So with that said, I think if there is no question, I think I'll yield to Ms. Castillo.
Yeah, just to add to what Dr. Saki and Dr. Chicas just mentioned, it is important for you to be able to read your program sequence. In this semester, August to December, um, Dr. Saki already pulled off the program sequence, but you would find that the courses offered in semester 1 and 3 are the ones that are offered during the August to December semester yearly. Okay? Your January to May semester, in that semester, we offer courses listed in semester 2 and semester 4 in your program sequence. Okay, so that's important for you to know. You also noted that all courses have four codes, four numbers. Okay, the name, it has the name and the four numbers in your course code. For example, we can see NRM 3151, professional skills. What does that mean? The fourth number in your course code indicates in which semester that course is being offered or when it's offered yearly. So you can see that NRMP 315, professional skills, is in semester 1. Semester 1 meaning the August to December semester. Okay, and you can see biostatistics 2 in semester 2, mat 3012. The fourth number is telling you it's only offered in semester 2, which is January to May every year. Okay, and there's some courses that are only offered during those semesters, especially your professional core courses. So it's essential that you register for them when they're being offered. And the fifth, when you go online and you're registering for your course, you'll find that it has 5 codes, not 4. The fifth number will tell you what section you're registering for. Okay, so it will tell you if you're in section 1 or section 2 or 3 of the lab. Okay, so the fifth number tells you your section, and I believe student services did that orientation for you. All right, any questions as it pertains to program sequencing from students before we continue? Okay. If not, then we can go to the ending slide, Dr. Saki, please. I think we're all hungry, right? All right. So once the classes start, okay, you will be provided with a course outline. Your lecturer will provide you a course outline. That course outline is very, very important for you because it is a contract between the lecturer and the student. What does that mean? It means that we are saying that whatever we have listed in our outline, this is what we will be providing you with. And you can hold us accountable to that. Any modification of the course outline, because it's not written in stone, okay? So there may be opportunities that may arise that perhaps the lecturer would love to have you guys engaged in. Of course, what is done is that there's consultation with the students at this point because we have provided you an outline, and so we will consult you to get your feedback about these different changes or modifications that are necessary. Maybe due to the pandemic, there may be some changes that need to be done as we move forward during the semester. However, your outline is your contract with your lecturer. Okay, and everything should be listed there, how many assignments, how the assignment will be graded, due dates or estimated due dates for assignments. Everything should be included in that outline that will be shared with you on the first week of classes. Uh, as a student, you need to also keep abreast of your UB student email account that was provided to you, because all information from UB will be sent to your UB account. Okay, so it's very important for you to be using your UB email for communication with your lecturers, for logging on to your classroom in terms of your virtual classroom, your courses, for access to Google Classroom and even Moodle. So please ensure that all communications, all official communication to your lecturer and your classes, you use your UB email account that was provided. Through through the use of this email, you will also get notifications from administration as to dates for withdraw, and it's important for you to know these dates because they have financial consequences. Okay, for example, if you withdraw within the first 2 weeks of classes, you're reimbursed your monies for that course. But as we progress along, you start to deduct cost for that course to a point that you won't get reimbursed for a course after a certain period. It also means that if you withdraw within the 2 weeks, the withdrawal period, it won't appear on your transcript. Okay, and if during the rest of the semester, if you're withdrawing by the due date for withdraw, passing or withdraw failing, it will simply be listed on your transcript as WP, which means withdraw while passing, or WF, which means withdraw while failing. If you register for a course and you do not um, if you do not ask to withdraw from that course, and you don't attend a course, and you don't submit your assignments for that course, if you do not do the necessary paperwork, at the end of the semester, you will still be assigned an F on your transcript, and it will impact your overall GPA, and you will still need to pay for that course. So if you're planning to withdraw from a course, please ensure to do the necessary paperwork. Okay. Grade appeals. The system provides you a process where if you think that you should have gotten a higher grade, okay, that there's a process where you pay fees. I believe it's $50 to admit to the accounts, and you do a grade appeal, okay. And that will go through entire hearing. You will need to have all your grades. It's important for you to keep track of your grades, because if you encounter yourself in this process, you need to have supporting documents to demonstrate that you do have a case, okay, to start with. Before you go to that paying of fees, though, remember there's a chain of command, and so your first step should be consult with your lecturer. Maybe there was a mistake, or maybe you overlooked something. Okay, you missed an assignment that you forgot to submit, etc. So please consult your lecturer. Then you can go to the chair. Then you can, with your evidence and your queries, your concerns, and then the chair will then indicate to you whether or not you have a case and if you should move forward to paying your fees to activate a grade appeal process. I already touched on the Google use of Moodle and Google Classroom, all your classes this semester, except for labs. will be done via Moodle and Google Classroom. Your lecturer will indicate to you which one of the platforms they will be using for class. The last slide, Dr. Saki, please. Next slide, please. Okay, and as we opened by stating that you chose the best program within the Faculty of Science and Technology. In fact, within the entire university, we have a history of being very dynamic. We have various opportunities that come for our students, and these opportunities come from various partners within the government and non-governmental agencies, whereby students can immerse themselves in different national projects that are ongoing. Okay, and we have even had exchanges with universities outside of Belize. Of course, given the current pandemic, this might change a bit for this semester, and hopefully we can get back to our normal ways of interacting outside of UB as I mean as soon as possible, right? But virtual virtual methodologies are now being used, and so maybe it's going to open more doors for students to attend international conferences online virtually. So let's see how it will go. And I believe Dr. Rogers will be presenting on the UBERI, because we also have students that work closely with UBERI, and there are many opportunities that you guys can look forward to. And Dr. Rogers?
Hi. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, so just very quickly, I want to go over our mission. What we do at the ERI is to build national scientific capacity for effective management and sustainable use and conservation of Belize's natural resources. We have programs and we have projects. So our programs are mainly three important things that we do. One, we do research and monitoring. We also do a lot of training of our students and faculty who are interested. And we also do communication and outreach. So under each one of these programs, we have specific projects that we work on. So our projects involve national research and monitoring. We do bird, we do corals, we do fish and seagrass and mangroves. We have specific projects with specific partners. We have a lot of partners that we do projects with climate change. We do savanna. So if you don't like the marine environment, you probably like the forests and the savannas and the rivers. We also have a large mammal corridor project that we work with, again, several of our partners. We do have ongoing program for the past, this will be the 10th year on, it's a master's degree, it's an online master's degree in biodiversity conservation along with the University of the West Indies. So maybe you want to join that program when you finish your bachelor's in NRM. Specifically, I am involved in the sea cucumber fishery research. This year, I have a big project that I'll be starting with the Belize Mar Fund, and the project will be at Turnef. So if you're interested in being a volunteer, hopefully COVID doesn't affect our work plans for everything that we have ongoing at ERI, our terrestrial projects and our marine projects. So if everything goes as planned, you're very welcome to join our team. Our work in coral reef and seagrass and the marine environment is primarily done at Turnef. And our terrestrial project we do at Chiquibol, we do at the Central Belize Corridor, and at times with other partners in different parts of the country. We have a lot of students, like Ms. Ceci said, that do a lot of volunteer work with us. They end up doing their thesis work with us. And some of, in fact, all of them that we have employed so far are from the NRM program. So I suggest that you visit our office or you can email us. And you can also fill out a form. I'm going to send the link in the chat box right now so you can see the link. There's an email in that website that you can email us, fill out a form, and become a volunteer. And that's all that I have. I don't know if you guys have any questions. Let me know. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat or unmute your mic. Dr. Saki, I don't know if you want to give a quick overview about the environmental club.
Actually, I don't have anything prepared on a quick overview of that. I can talk off the top of my head. Hopefully, somebody else might be able to pick up on that. Josue is not in the group. He would be probably another person too. But anyway, the University of Belize is, of course, not only about all the academic programs. We also try to encourage students to do extracurricular activity, especially those that are directly related to the current interests or the courses or classes you're taking. The Environmental Club is one of those avenues in which you are able to do that. In fact, there were several clubs at the NRM. In fact, we started. I think we were the champion for clubs. The Natural Resource Management Program were the champion for clubs. We had the IFSA, International Forestry Student Association, which is our first international student association. Which I don't know what is the status of that, but I think it is something that is challenged as well because of COVID-19, equally for the Environmental Club. The Environmental Club undertakes on a lot of tasks that are directly related to promoting education and awareness within the community, and especially guided by our students and created by our students. We participate in things like De La Ruta Maya, doing environmental campaigns. One of the things we do at the end of the year usually is participate strongly in the Earth Day events. We also are present in preparing the Earth and the Earth Hour, the International Earth Hour activities. And we also had a tradition going, except for this year that did not work out for us, or last year, last December, is we do the Christmas tree for the campus, where recycled bottles are used, plastic bottles are used to create a Christmas tree, kind of pointing out how much plastics and focusing on plastics as a major environmental problem that we have globally and especially in Belize. All of these activities that we have, and those extend as well into other activities such as planting trees and maintaining trees and all that stuff on campus. I see that we would probably have a little bit of challenge because we're not face-to-face this semester, but nonetheless, there's other ways that the club can involve itself, and I'm sure that as the semester roll on, we'll probably devise a plan for us to be able to make it. We could probably have like some type of a forum, environmental forum of some kind, where I think we could have people join in and come up with ideas and ways to do stuff to keep the communities informed. One of the biggest contribution of the Environmental Club was its ability to engage elementary schools, high schools, and other learning institutions that are within the Belmopan area, especially to create some of these activities. Again, I want to encourage you all to look into it, and hopefully you all will be able to participate. Somehow we have to think different, think out of the box, think virtually, and somehow one of the best products I think that the environmental club had made a few years ago was created by Jamal Witty and a group of students. Was a video on. I'm sorry, I don't have the video with me right now. Otherwise, I would share it. But a nice video talking about how plastic is a very big issue and a source of pollution. It's a really nice video. Very few. It's an infomercial, really, but it's really very good. Very short. Those kinds of things have a very big impact in terms of changing human behavior, and because us as people are doing it, I think us as university student doing it influence our student behavior. And you will know that, and you will see this when you come back to campus eventually, that a lot of the challenges we have in our society, you'll see it happening on campus. So if we can change people's behavior on campus and students behavior on campus, hopefully they take that with them. You all take it back with you to your various different communities. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Saki. Yeah, so perhaps we can just go through the slides while I talk, Dr. Saki, because it's only pictures that that captured what we have done throughout the years and where our students are engaged. But there are multiple research opportunities for NRM students. You can simply visit or ask lecturers what they're engaged with. We have a lot of research surrounding sargassum and water quality work in the different various watersheds. Mr. Ake is the person to look at for if you're interested in things of that nature. We have faculty working in microplastics. Again, you can reach out to us within the NRM program, something where you can use GIS as a tool in research. And you guys can also learn to use the drone, as we can see in that picture. As students get hands-on in terms of using the drone and creating maps, and you use it to answer research questions, basically. Okay. So our pictures, these are just nice pictures of field work, students being exposed to things that are occurring nationally. There we have a student that was out collecting water samples to link any possible changes in water quality due to the sargassum influx that we're currently facing. Our students have been out to areas where we have the seaweed cultivation. You know that every country is gearing towards or preparing fishers to go into seaweed production as an alternative source of livelihood. So we have been out there as a program, and although we're faced with the pandemic, our challenge today, and what I challenge you guys, is to be creative and think outside the box. And how can we still do these things give in virtually? Okay, so our environmental club, how can we pick up the pieces during these times, and how can we be out there making NRM visible and reaching out to students, promoting environmental stewardship in younger generations, and even to older folks. Okay, as it's more critical now for people to understand the environment and how we're linked to it, and how our actions ultimately impact us at the end. Okay, we once had a beautiful orchid garden at UB. I'm sure with the, now that we have closed, I don't know what's the fate of the plants in there. So we will need a lot of support and work from you guys, interested students, to build our program even better than what it was before COVID-19. Okay. And that's it for us. If you guys have questions, please ask your questions. Meet with your advisors. We're here for you, and we're here to guide you through your academic journey at UB. Ultimately, we want to see you guys graduate, okay, the successful completion. And be involved. If you can look at that last slide, that logo, the Earth Day logo was created by our students, by a particular student who had a great skill when it comes to designing. And so our program is built on the skills and the and from the students that volunteer their time and skills to do these things. So without you guys, we won't be able to be as dynamic as we were. Okay, so let's think outside the box, let's be creative, innovative, and let's put our program out there. With that, if any other faculty have anything else to add, this will conclude our session. Please meet with your advisor, accept the link that was sent to you, and advising will be held tomorrow and Friday. Guys? Okay, if no other faculty member wants to say something, then we'll see you tomorrow. Please meet with your advisor. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you all and welcome to the NRM program.
All right, I'll be logging off now. Welcome and let's have fun.